You're listening to the best of the Morning X, dropping back into the interview from a few moments ago. This is the original 99X.
Peter Conlon over there printing up concert tickets as we speak.
You know, this would be an interesting. You could put a lot of this stuff in a book. Yeah, you cross out the names, but I can see a book where you would just have weird concert riders.
Well, but you can't. I mean, that's the book I'll write like the year after I retire. You know.
Right.
When I don't want any calls returned.
Mm-hmm.
What else, Peter?
Well, Sinatra was a piece of cake. I mean, I worked with him on 3 occasions, and I think 4. And he, his dressing room was so simple. He wanted a crock pot of chicken noodle soup, some chicken salad sandwiches, some Lifesavers, some unfiltered Luckies, and a bottle of Jack Daniels.
That's Frankie.
That was Frank Sinatra.
That's Frankie.
It.
Yeah. ZZ Top used to want, really, really nice wines. I mean, cases of, like, vintage wines, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found they were sending it back home to a wine cellar. They weren't even drinking it backstage.
Who's had the most elaborate, out-of-control rider you've ever seen?
The one in the business that stands out, which was back in the 70s, was Fleetwood Mac on their big tour. Alex had added it up, all the liquor they required. And just out of a curiosity, he added it up to see, how much liquor is this.
Sure.
And it would have taken every member of the crew and every member of the band would have had to drink 164 ounces of alcohol.
To finish it. Yeah, you wonder how many times you're not just supplying the tour with alcohol as opposed to that night.
And their friends and all that. But see, then in the 80s, a lot of bands found out, hey, we're paying for this. And it cut back to some bizarre requests, but it got out of the huge kind of costly stuff. I mean, like on the U2, that last tour, the catering bill was in the 6 figures.
The catering alone?
Yeah.
Wow, that's more than a wedding.
Yeah. Oh,
much
yeah.
more.
They had a couple hundred people on the road, and you're feeding them for 4 days. But it was. We built the tent outside in the parking lot, and 3 meals a day, plus after dinner, after show, and special parties, things like that. It was in the 6 figures.
What's the most bizarre request ever, besides the staring at Diana Ross thing?
The funniest was Danzig. Had a
Danzig
had this request in his rider that we circulated around the office and laughed. He wanted 3 girls with high school diplomas who lived within a $10 cab fare of the venue.
He wanted
that
3
was on his
girls.
contract? That was on his contract?
It was in his contract.
Really?
A lot of these guys ask for stuff and you just don't give it to them. We had a couple groups ask for drugs, in the contract.
Oh yeah?
Just cross out,
A couple of bags.
Yeah.
What was the deal with Kiss about you had to dress up?
Oh, yeah.
Or?
Kiss, we had to dress up. That was in the rider, that the promoter had to dress up like a member of Kiss.
Why?
I think the thing was they wanted you to feel part of the experience, and I think also these are guys who wanted you to see what it feels like to put on makeup for a day.
But, Peter, you don't strike me. I mean, I know you. I don't see you getting in the makeup and stuff. I mean,
I was actually more amenable to it than, of course, Alex.
Oh, no. And you know what, really? Who wants to see Alex dressed up like that?
Which one were you, Peter?
I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't do it?
I got out of it.
You would have made a good Peter Chris.
I was...
Because the hair length and everything?
I just couldn't decide. It was all such an attractive idea to me.
And they didn't hassle you about it come showtime? Because I've heard that they won't go on unless you do that.
Nah, they didn't really. We got someone else to do it for us, and they liked what we did, and they thought it was funny. But Gene Simmons did come up to me and said, "Why aren't you dressed up?"
Is it true that you're going to do next year at Chastain as part of the concert series, an evening with Marilyn Manson at Chastain?
Oh, yeah, that's all I need right now, Jimmy.
Yeah, with the ASO.
Oh yeah, that'd be really exciting.
Big nights.
I think that'd be a very tasteful evening.
Wow, guys, we could sit around and talk to Uncle Peter for hours.
Yeah. Hey, Peter, tell us about that time Elvis. Did you ever work with that? Elvis was way before you were in this business.
Well, actually, I never worked with him, but I was reading that blurb in the paper last week about how he was calling Jimmy Carter.
Right.
And I used to work for Carter, and I was actually in the White House about 2 weeks before he died. I was over in the scheduling office sitting with a friend of mine, and we were talking, having a beer, after hours, just kind of talking. And the operator would always send calls over for clearance if it was someone, that was not your ordinary person, whatever, asking for the president. And he said, answer the phone. He was on the other line, and it was the operator said, I have a clearance call, and I took it, and it was Elvis.
You took a call from Elvis Presley?
Yeah.
How did that conversation go?
It was real short. I mean, he wanted to talk to the president. I asked who he was, and he said, I'm Elvis.
And wait a minute.
I'm Elvis.
I didn't ask for a last name. I figured there's only one. You know?
Yeah, but with all the people out there who imitate Elvis and throughout the years, you must not have bought it at first. I mean,
No, that's why they do the verification, and then
what did you ask him? How did you verify it was really him?
Well, you get a number, you call him back at Graceland.
Yeah, after hours, what does Elvis have to talk to the president about?
Well, it was in. I guess it's in a magazine this month. I never asked Carter. I always meant to. I was like, apparently he was calling with some requests. You know.
So he calls and he says, "This is Elvis," and you said, "Okay, Elvis Presley."
I'll
and
put you
then
right
what?
through.
Yeah, like right.
What would you like to talk about? Why do you want to talk to the president?
No, I don't ask him that. That's apparently. I said to the guy who's in the office, I said, "Is Carter talking?" He said, "Oh yeah, they're talking. They've been talking. Just tell them to hold for a minute." So, I said, "Do you mind holding?" He said, "No, glad to hold."
Glad to hold on. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, really.
All right, Peter.
Good to talk to you.
All right, guys.
Good luck with all your upcoming shows.
Thanks.
Peter Conlon. See you later.
Bye.
Scanning the station, find the one with the X. Cause in the morning there's a show that you can bet is the best. Now dig it, it's where they always got the music you like. You know the guests that have the interviews are always so tight, so tight. And if it's what you want, but listen to Bonds. And there's always got a scoop that's gonna help you get your squeeze on. And Jimmy might just tell the joke that he found. So in the morning, it's the morning to the X. Are you down? I gotta know you're down, if you're down with it. I gotta know you're down, if you're down with it. I gotta know you're down, if you're down with it. I gotta know you're down, if you're down with it. I gotta know you're down, if you're down with it.
The best of the Morning X.
99X.